5 steps to becoming a healthy business leader. Now, you may kind of know what I talk about regularly here on LinkedIn and other social media platforms. You may not, but essentially we help as a company, me, my team, Truth Fitness, we help business leaders, people within the kind of senior business elite, to transform their health, transform their kind of weight. And we do this through a holistic 6-week approach, coaching methodology, which uses 5 simple steps. And those 5 simple steps, you may or may not know, you may have seen me talk about this in the past, but habits is the thing that we always lead with. That's the first pillar. And if you are watching this and you're interested in this area, it might be worth just taking a note of these as you go through these, because these are really important if you're looking to transform your health, lose weight, kind of, in struggling with time and don't know how to get fit things in. These are really important to make a note of this. So the 5 steps are habits, which we'll talk about briefly in a moment. They are habits, training, nutrition, obviously, clearly, sleep, and NEAT. And we'll talk about NEAT in a moment with a bit more clarity. But essentially, if you're at the starting point, which I know most of the people that we help, most of the CEOs, the business leaders, the business owners, they're in a situation where they kind of don't know where to start, or they've tried to start, they've tried stuff, they've got some initial results, but they haven't, managed to keep consistent and keep going long enough to start seeing change. A really interesting chap, someone earlier actually, senior executive from a company called BT, may or may not have heard of them, and he was kind of talking about this book here actually, Atomic Habits, and he picked up on a point that one of my posts made, and I don't know when it was, but he picked up on it, and he said about most people essentially give up before they start to see any change. And I would concur with that, because most people, new year, new you, all that kind of pressure on you to get yourself in shape in the first kind of 30 days, right? So most people give themselves a couple of weeks and they start to see results and they start to see a little bit of change. And then 2 weeks in, they've lost that energy, they've lost that vibrancy for it, and they stop because they didn't see the change that they expected in their head to see. So what kind of, something just to bear in mind, there's something to think about if you are just starting your journey. If you're not willing to try something for a minimum of 3 to 4 weeks without expecting to see change, you're going to be bitterly disappointed. Okay, now obviously we do 6-week programs, intense, results driven, guarantee results program, and this is all we do. This is our expertise. I've done this for 19 years now, okay, and I've got a real good gauge, and the team have got a real good gauge of what kind of changes you should be seeing. Okay, if you're a CEO or a business owner or whatever you are in that senior business elite, and you've never worked out in your life, or hardly ever worked out in your life, you don't know how to eat properly, you've never been in shape, you've never understood what it means to get in shape, maintain it, and grow and overload and kind of progress, the chances of you doing that on your own are fairly slim. The chances of you doing it on your own in 2 weeks are less than 0. So just bear that in mind next time you go into, a new program, or you've Googled a new thing, or you've tried a new, whatever it may be. Give it 3-4 weeks before you make any judgment on that. And that's just me being completely honest with you, because I hear it all the time. And it's just something I wanted to stick a pin in, because I hear it regularly about people getting pissed off because they've done 2 weeks on a program and haven't seen the changes that they want. If you've not done anything to look after yourself for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, give it a month as a minimum. So back to these 5 pillars anyway. So you've got habits, training, nutrition, sleep, and NEAT. So habits. I did create a couple of videos earlier actually for some adverts that are running, and the kind of habit side of things, from my experience and from the experience of doing this, getting results for over 400 business leaders now. This is not the first time I'm doing this. Habits are probably the thing in your life. This is everybody, no matter what walk of life you're in, what your business is, what your job is, whatever you do. Habits are somewhere that everybody should start at, because the great thing about habits is they are they can be kind of changed and tweaked and improved on an hourly, on a daily, on a weekly, a monthly, and yearly basis. But the great thing about them is you can change them like this. They can be changed instantly. Changing your food and changing your training regime and changing your scheduling and changing your sleep and changing your supplements, that kind of stuff. It's a little slower and it's going to take repetition to kind of get it locked in. With habits, you can get big change, so big positive impact on energy, sleep, focus, health, weight loss, all those key markers. But you can do it quite quickly and they're really easy to do and they're free. They don't cost you anything. Like you can watch this now, you go away after this, you could feel motivated and you can go, hey, look, let's change my habit. Let's work on my habits. So with habits, my advice would be is that you need to make a quick list of the top 5 to 10 habits you have on a daily basis. So for example, a croissant on the way to work, a latte on the way to work. I always jump in an Uber to get to a meeting, or I always leave the house late, so I always miss the train and have to get the later train, which then means I have to get an Uber. I grab a croissant at lunch. I don't drink enough water. I always choose to get the lift, not the stairs, not the elevator, because it's England and we say lift. I hear people say elevator all the time, drives me mad. Getting the lift rather than walking the stairs. Not leaving a little early so you can make the extra steps in your diary. All those little bits that you do on a daily basis that start to have negative implications on your goals, your health, your energy, all the stuff that you want to improve, or you say you want to improve anyway. So with, once you've made that list, that 5 to 10, then look at the top 3 that have the biggest negative impact. And I'm just going to suggest 3 here for you because, again, I've done this for a long time and there's 3 that normally pop up. Number 1 is going to be water. So the bad habit would be not drinking enough water. The flip on that would be starting to drink 2 litres a day. Yeah, number 1. That's one example. Another example is I don't eat enough protein, or don't eat any protein. I hear that quite a lot. And that often means that if you're not eating enough protein, then you're overeating on carbs, you're undereating on protein, so you're not feeling full. And then it probably means that you're struggling to hold onto muscle, etc., which then means that you're kind of going into a catabolic environment rather than anabolic. So you're burning muscle rather than growing muscle. So protein is a really great place to start. So for example, the bad habit would be I don't eat protein with each meal. The good example would be I'll start to eat protein with each meal. Flipped it. Easy, yeah? A third one would be I drink caffeine late in the day. So I drink a cup of coffee at 5 o'clock, which is baffling because it's quite late in the day. Always reminds me of being a kid and going out for meals and seeing your parents have a double espresso at like 9:30 at night. Never thought anything of it at the time, but then you get to be older and you think, right, well, okay, that's really strong caffeine and you're having it first thing in the morning, right? Which is crazy. So, but having caffeine late in the evening, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever it's going to be, flip that to don't have caffeine after 12. So then what you start to do is you start to build up a really clear list of 3 habits. Don't do 5. 3's enough, the top 3, okay? And every day you tick them off. So inside of our application, we create that for clients. They tick off daily, gives them a place to store their new habits and to be held accountable to their habits. We can't hold you accountable because you're not a client. If you are a client, we can do that. But an example, the best way to do that for yourself for free would be to have it somewhere in your phone or on in a book somewhere. If you're kind of logging in and using that as a place to take notes, just somewhere that you can check it regularly in the morning and tick it off. So the next one obviously is going to be training. I'm doing a live and it's a short time to talk about it, but you need to be doing workouts that are giving you the most bang for your buck, okay? The amount of people I talk to, when I say people, senior business people, that think what they're doing is the right type of training is staggering. And the amount of those people, the percentage of those people that are doing things that aren't helping them to lose weight, that aren't helping them to stay leaner, that aren't helping them to be stronger, that aren't helping them to sleep better, is 90% plus. So if you can look at your training program and answer these 3 questions. 1, does it fit in my diary? Do I always attend my sessions? Okay, so if you give yourself a goal of doing 3 workouts per week, how often out of 10 weeks do you do 3 workouts? If the answer is less than 50%, that's not working. Secondly, is it getting me results? If you look at yourself and you don't see any change, and it's been more than 5 weeks, it's not doing the job that it should be doing. And number 3, is it flexible? Is my program flexible enough? So if I do have a board meeting, if I do have to travel to Geneva or whatever it may be, just so you know, guys, everyone's busy, not just you. That's another little one to stick in your cap, because everyone thinks they're the busiest person in the whole world, and everybody's busy. So if the mum at home with 3 kids and a house to run and everything else that goes with it can find the time, if a CEO that runs 3 companies that is never home can find the time, whatever the extreme of that argument is. I know people that have trained at midnight because it's the only time they could fit it in. They made it happen. Okay, doesn't matter how busy you are. If it's important to you, you'll find a way. If it's not, you're making an excuse. Okay, everybody gets that. So essentially with your training, you answer those 3 questions. If the answer to those is no, then you need to look at your workouts. If you're standing in the gym for an hour and you're on the treadmill and you're on the cross trainer and you're going up to pull downs like this and doing pressing and just leaving, it's not, I know you think it's great, but it's just not doing anything. You may as well not bother. So is your training getting you the results you want? Is it flexible enough? And are you attending it regularly? Okay. If not, you need to look at bang for your buck workouts, big muscle group movements, stuff that makes your body stressed, stuff that overloads your body. Okay. You need to have some kind of understanding of progressive overload when you're looking at getting results. Doesn't matter if you're a 95-year-old woman or a 15-year-old runner. You need to understand progressive overload. You need to understand how to get stronger and how to progressively increase the weights, reduce the rest times, looking at tempo. If you don't understand that, you can't build yourself a program. Okay. If you want some help with that, you see the email going across the bottom of the list, across the bottom of the video here. Feel free to reach out. We can definitely help you with that. No problem at all. The team are here to help all the time. But for me to explain something that took 10 years to learn is going to be difficult. But anyway, answer those questions. If the answer is no, that's not working, I'm not seeing change, then reach out to us. We're happy to help. Then nutrition. So again, we could argue this till the cows come home. I'm just going to tell you what works. If you're looking for rapid results, if you're looking for rapid weight loss, but healthy weight loss, you're looking for something that's a framework that doesn't include calories, that doesn't include complicated MyFitnessPal applications that you have to bring out the dinner table and take on holiday with you. If that's not your bag, and you're not somebody that follows a certain celebrity trainer and wants to talk about calories till the cow comes home, because it's the only way in their world that things can work. If that doesn't work for you and you look for something that's simple and a framework that works, then you need to be looking at high protein, high fat, lots of green vegetables, and managing your carbohydrate intake. That's the simplest way to do this. That's going to help you reduce inflammation in your body. It's going to help you boost your muscle, your recovery. It's going to help you feeling fuller. And the great thing is that because we've got an insight into kind of how business people are, they're busy. Yeah, that's why you're a business person, generally really busy. Following MyFitnessPal and calorie deficits and stuff is a bit of a pain in the ass. So the approach that we do is the approach I've just said to you, and it works. It helps you get in shape. It's really simple. It doesn't matter if you're in Turkey on the beach, in an event in Rome, it doesn't matter. It's the same framework. So again, if you're struggling with that, reach out to us. Emails running along the bottom of the video there. Feel free to give the shout and we can help you with that as well. So sleep. So again, as a 37-year-old tomorrow, actually I'm 37 tomorrow. As a 37-year-old, it's taken me a long time to kind of work out the sleep thing. And I always thought I was somebody that could survive on little sleep, and probably in my 20s I could. As I'm older with 2 kids and everything going crazy, sleep becomes more and more important. If you're 10 years older than me, if you're 20 years older than me, and the words are coming out of your mouth that I don't need that much sleep, that's not true. I'm sorry, it's not true. Everybody needs sleep. You're going to be seeing a 30 to 40% reduction in your productivity, a 40% reduction in your focus. I've seen that type of person, I've been that type of person, and I've been the other side of the person, which is somebody that tries to get the sleep in, that makes sleep a priority. And trust me, it's like night and day. So if you was going to put anything above all of these things that I'm talking about, habits would be the first one because it's the simplest and most logical. If there's one that you really should be focusing on in the short and long term, it's going to be sleep. It's just going to help you in so many different ways. The problem with having bad sleep, or not actually focusing on having more than 5 or 6 hours sleep, and I hear it all the time, we've got clients that are in law, top level legal people, and they don't sleep, but they manage to operate. It's not healthy. The thing with sleep is if you don't get enough of it and it's not a good enough quality, you wake up knackered. So the chances of you training go through the floor. So you don't train because you're knackered. You then eat, a carbohydrate, calorie-packed meal because you feel tired. Then you feel shit because you haven't trained and you've eaten shit. See how this kind of cycle continues. The only way to really get off of it is to have a really good night's sleep. And I know it's difficult, and I know you're busy, but it's killing you. It's killing you. It's knocking years off your life. And if that's not important to you, then that's cool. That's your bag. But most people I talk to would like to live as long as possible to see the grandkids and the kids. So sleep, guys, I'm banging the drum. You've got to start focusing more on your sleep. Now, if you're struggling with the kind of amount of sleep you're getting, as in like the length of the sleep, then you can look at the quality of your sleep. So supplementation, sleep hygiene, making sure you're getting the correct process before sleep, as in not sitting on your phone here all the time, iPads, MacBooks in bed, turn the MacBook off, expect to go to sleep. You've basically just had like an injection of adrenaline into your arm. You're not going to sleep. You're going to be buzzing. Your brain's awake. You take you 2 hours to wind down. You then fall asleep at midnight, 1 o'clock, up again at 6. See how you're a little bit in this cycle of kind of destruction, right? You have to jump off that at some point. So sleep's going to be really, really important, guys. And the other issue is if we take a little step forward and you start to actually get some results and start to work out, if you're not sleeping, you're going to not be recovering. If you're not recovering, you're going to get injured. And if you get injured, it's all over. You're done. You're finished, because suddenly that back pain, and we see it all the time, back pain because you're not sleeping and you're drinking coffee all the time and having red wine to unwind all the time, you're going to get injured. And once you're injured, you can't do anything. You can't work, you can't sleep, you can't see your kids, you can't do anything. You're just debilitated. So just think about sleep as an extremely important thing, guys, because it really is. Cool. So you want some information about sleep? If you're looking for some guidance around sleep, give us a shout. Got the email running across the bottom of the screen there, hi@truthfitness.co.uk. Always reach out to us, more than happy to help. And me or one of the team will give you a shout back. So the final one is NEAT, so non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which basically is all of the movement you do outside of the gym. So obviously steps is the thing that most people talk about. It's the simplest one because you can track it. You've got Fitbits and Google Watches and whatever. The phones do it. It's a really simple metric to track. If you are in an office, so if you're in a sedentary job, which I guess most people watching me on LinkedIn now would be from a sedentary lifestyle, they're sitting at desks mainly, or maybe they're, the CEO and they travel a bit, but they generally sat down on a train, a plane, in a coach or whatever, or a desk. You're in a sedentary job. So the whole guidance around 10,000 steps a day becomes very, very difficult because you're not actually moving. If you work in an office and you're sedentary, as I just mentioned, I would say 7,000 is more of a realistic goal for you, because that's going to require you to stand up in the middle of the day and physically go for a half an hour walk. If you can factor that into your day, that's going to increase your NEAT. If you can't do that, you're going to struggle to get 10,000. In fact, you'll be nowhere near it. Okay. Often hear people work in offices that struggle with 2,000. So 10,000 is great, but it's a little bit of a made up number. Generally speaking, if you're in office, 7,500 is a great place to get to. If you are on an active job, then 10,000 would be easy. I mean, I work out in the morning, so I've done 14,000 without too much difficulty because I've moved first thing in the morning. Horses for courses, depends on where you're at, but generally 7,500 if you're in office is a good place to start. So you can see how I'm quite animated as a person. I did a video earlier, I was actually told off for moving my hands too much. And I'm always swinging and this kind of stuff. I'm quite an energetic person all the time. So it depends on your kind of energy. I burn quite a lot of energy just naturally because I move a lot. If you're someone that's not like that, if you're someone that's more comfortable being sat, if you're someone that can just read, focus on the screen for hours on end, you will find that you're not actually moving at all for hours on end. So you're physically going to have to go set a reminder, I need to move. Little tricks for this, guys. If you've got a team meeting and it's on Zoom, you don't need to have your head on it. Stick your earphones in, go for a walk, put your phone in your pocket. You can just talk and communicate with teams. If you're speaking with a colleague, if you're speaking with, a client / friend, you can do these things on AirPods or earphones and go for a walk. It's a great way to do it. Also, the age-old thing of, if you've got a meeting and you can get in an Uber, just leave 10 minutes before. And it's always bloody raining here, but, get a rain jacket on and get yourself walking. Just get moving more, because that's going to start compounding over days and weeks and months. And suddenly you'll find that you start to shred fat, your body weight starts to drop, you start to lose a little bit in your face, you start to feel more energized, and it will just start to benefit all of those kind of KPIs that you're looking for. But you need to move your body essentially. Okay, so what I've done there is kind of highlighted, summarized, what you want to call them, the 5 pillars, the 5 steps that we use to get our VIP clients into great shape within that 6-week period and beyond. So if you've got any questions on that, I know I've only got a couple of people on here on the live, do feel free to reach out to us on the email underneath the video. Happy to answer any questions you've got. Post them in the comments box now. I will hang around for a couple of minutes. But as I said, yesterday I had a live stream booked for 6:30. The live stream came on. I was due to be on LinkedIn, YouTube and Facebook, and I had a catastrophic error in the software, so everything died. So if you were on that, guys, apologize for the issue. I will be doing these lives once a week going forward. An audio once a week and a live once a week, just to kind of interact with you guys, answer any questions you've got. So we are, as you can tell, a very open company. We're not kind of smoke and mirrors or behind anything. If you want to reach out to us, if you've got questions, we're more than happy to answer those questions. But just to clarify, we are a company that comes from a place of being honest with you. If you want to go and speak to a company that's going to give you what you want to hear, that's not really where we are. We want to help you, really do, but we're also going to make sure we give you stuff that's effective. And what we've tested hundreds and hundreds of times. Had a chat earlier actually with somebody about kind of our journey from personal trainers to working out of warehouse gyms in Shoreditch to taking over to, I've been told off saying that phrase, not taking over, operating from a private members club, to negotiating contracts in other private members clubs, to moving online, to testing and tweaking our programs for 18 bloody months, up until now, and having clients, all over the place and growing into, a successful company. So we've been through every element of this, and we're at the stage now where we want to work with people that want to get results. We want to work with people that, are at a stage where they really want to start making changes, but also people that don't want to just be told what they want to hear. They want to be told what's going to work. And I'll be completely transparent with you. I've experienced this over the last couple of months, is that many people think they're in the position to change, but they're not really. And that's cool. That's fine. It's no problem at all. It's just that you kind of, if you're exploring options and you're looking at different strategies, different solutions, whether it's Herbalife, whether it's Weight Watchers, whether it's your local personal trainer, whether it's, an online program, an online coach, whatever it is, make sure it works for you and where you're at. But just to put my flag in the sand and just to tell you what we do as a company, we work with business leaders that are ready to change. Okay, doesn't matter if you're at the very, very start of your journey, doesn't matter if you're halfway through your journey. We only work with people that really want to start making those changes, and we'll facilitate those for you. We'll get you really great results, but we're also going to make sure that we tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So as long as that's clear, like I say, there's an email at the bottom of the video. feel free to reach out to us and we'll be very, very happy to help. So I've got no questions coming up, guys. So I'm going to end the live now. If you do have any questions, whack them in the comments box. If not, you've got an email address there to reach out to if you want to book a call, just to chat about your goals, any questions about what I've spoken about today. Like I say, apologies again for yesterday. The live didn't work. My fault. The software broke, but it is my fault. Yeah, listen, if you've got any questions, hit us up. And I look forward to seeing you. I'm going to be doing these lives, doing our first audio event next week. The week after that, we'll be doing another live. And then once per month, we'll be doing a big event, which is going to be a kind of flagship webinar that we do once per month as well, where you can check out what we do. Lots of information in there that's going to help you guys as well. So anyway, great to chat to you guys. And I'll speak to you very soon. Cheers then.